Hi, my name's Bayan, and I'm a regular girl that just moved to New York City from San Francisco, where I'm from. I went to college in New York City, and then I spent a year being at home, and I've just recently moved back. When I moved to New York 4 days ago, I kind of had a freak out that I wouldn't be able to have the same kind of access to nature as I do in California. So I've decided that this time, while I'm in New York City, I need to bring my West Coast hobbies, camping, hiking, etc., to the East Coast so that I can stay a little bit more sane. This is day one of me staying true to that promise. The first nature activity that we are going to do is going to be Central Park. Yeah, so I'm starting really small. When I first came to New York City for college, my freshman year, I was really missing the access to nature a lot. I was really used to having ocean and forests and desert and snow and mountains like a half an hour drive in every direction. And I asked this girl in my class who was raised in Manhattan, what do you do when you want to see nature? And she goes, oh, well, I just go to Central Park. I had no idea what to say. But today, in honor of her and in honor of that, I'm going to explore Central Park, and I'm going to try to feel the same feelings I feel when I'm in nature at home, and try to find little spots that I can go to get in nature, if you will. So, yeah, come with me. I'm currently on a hill. I'm just taking the opportunity to touch some grass, lay on hill, look at sun. Yeah, so this is me doing that. I'm definitely in a park. So I've discovered that my favorite part of the park is this little waterfall. So nice. So this is called the Loch. I like it. I wish I could put my feet in the water, that would be really nice, but I looked it up and it says no. So I'm not going to be doing that. It's quite nice. Again, I wish I could get in it. I quite like whatever is going on with this shrubbery. I would really like to lay in it, but I cannot because there's a fence. But that's okay, I understand. Something else about being from the West Coast is we have really freaky hobbies, like my family mushroom hunts, and I've never really seen wild mushrooms in the East Coast. I know that they exist, obviously. I just haven't seen any, but I'm really happy to have discovered some turkey tail on these logs over here. There they are, so cute. I can't pick them because they're fenced in, but I understand. This area is quite nice because it does actually seem like you're in a forest maybe, or on a trail. Why is this a thing? Why do they do this? Over here you can see that somebody maybe perhaps went on ahead and got inside. Well, I'm back. I'm back. I quite like this tree on this balcony here. Sometimes I just come over here, just kind of touch it. Yeah, just like that. It's good. It's kind of like being in nature. So I suppose it's time for me to give my review and my thoughts. I do love Central Park. I think it's a magical place. I think my mistake during college, and even now honestly, is expecting for the East Coast to be the West Coast, because it's not. And it's like I keep getting disappointed because I'm walking around and I'm expecting to see a 3,000-year-old redwood tree or poppies or calla lilies, and that's not what I'm going to see. I'm going to see daffodils and I'm going to see tulips, and that's all right. I think that I just need to see it as it is instead of expecting it to be something else. I think it's also just a part of moving and trying to acclimate yourself into a place that's not home, which is especially hard if you're somebody like me that is kind of a California elitist, if you will. I can feel like if I'm accepting beauty here sometimes, like I'm giving up a part of me that is meant for California, which is so weird and not true. So I think I just need to do better personally. Obviously, this is step one of a very lengthy process of just trying to do more outdoor activities while being here in New York. I think another important thing to think about is I didn't move to New York City because it's known for having crazy access to nature. I moved to New York City because my best friends are here, and because I think it's really important, if you have the possibility of doing so, to change where you live, because I think it's important to be able to find happiness in different places, and I think it's important to know how to acclimate, and I think that it really helps you to grow. Maybe the idea that I'm trying to find my West Coast hobbies in the East Coast then is kind of counterintuitive to that narrative, and I should instead be making a series about museums I'm going to and jazz clubs I'm going to. Fuck. Yikes. That's something to think about. More on that note of it's not California, it's New York. Okay, maybe I'm not seeing a 3,000-year-old redwood tree, but what I am seeing is I'm seeing a woman that's singing to herself as she walks her dog, or a person playing the saxophone that's having a chat with a stranger that he's talking to on a park bench, or a movie being filmed near the lake. And so you're seeing other things that are quite beautiful, and I think something that's important in finding and seeking beauty is finding different forms of beauty. Maybe I wasn't surrounded by nature, but I was certainly surrounded by beauty. I also noticed that the southern part of the park is quite different than the north. I haven't spent as much time in the north, and I'd like to go back. My time kind of got cut short, but the northern part is a lot more wild and free, which I really like. But yes, that is today's adventure in the park. If there's anybody that knows of any other place I can go to, let me know. I think I'm going to hit the Botans in the Bronx next. Alrighty, I guess this is where I say bye. Goodbye.